Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the most recent Bright Light spoiler and the most recent Ninja spoiler called Wax Off. So Wax Off is a card that was spoiled by my good friend GGDOA. Please go follow him on Twitter. Good friend, really good Ninja player, and also a really good shoutcaster and host in the esports and gaming community. Just someone you really want to be following, whether you're into card games or gaming in general. So please go check out his socials. He did a cool video. It was like a 2-minute long. He always does really funny, kind of different thematic videos, and it's just someone from set to set you're going to want to be following. But I wanted to get into his spoiler card that he showed off, Wax Off. It is a blue 0-cost ninja defense reaction that blocks for 2. And it says, if you've played Wax On this turn, create a Zen State token. Now, Wax On was a card released a couple sets back that is also a ninja defense reaction. And it says, while Wax On is defending an attack action card with cost 0, it gets +2 to its defense power. So normally at red, Wax On will block for 3, at yellow it blocks for 2, and blue it blocks for 1. But if it gets the added bonus, it blocks for 5, 4, and 3, which is pretty above rate, especially at red. A 0 for 5 is insane. So it's a good card against certain decks, right, that run really low to the ground aggro-based attacks that cost 0. But if it's not defending a 0-cost attack, it doesn't do as much. It's kind of a below-rate defense reaction. The good thing about Wax Off is it allows you to create Zen State tokens. Now, for people who aren't aware what a Zen State token is, it's usually made off of the Soul Bead Strike line, so going from Soul Bead Strike to Crane Dance and then Crane Dance to Find Center. If you can get Find Center to hit and it's been comboed, then it allows you to create a Zen State token. Zen State tokens come in the field with 1 balance counter on them, similar to like a dash, something that a dash item that has counters that go off every turn. And if you remove a balance counter at the start of every one of your turns, if you can't remove a counter, you destroy it. So a Zen State token will last 2 turns because it starts with 1 counter. It'll go through 1 turn, then go through the next. And it prevents 1 instance of damage from each source that is coming at you. So the reason Zen States were so powerful back in the day when they were being played was because since it blocks 1 instance of damage from every source that's coming at you, it basically nullifies all rune chants. Since rune chants they're all their own separate sources and they all deal exactly 1 damage, it will prevent 1 instance of damage from each one of those rune chants, effectively nullifying a rune chant. It also prevents breakpoint attacks like Snatch and Leg Tap to only get attacked for 3, so on and so forth. It also will take away Kadachis. It takes away any 1-power weapon. So super, super powerful effect if it can be procced consistently. When it comes to these cards, I'm trying to stay objective. So like thematically and art-wise, the card's really cool. I love how they did Wax On, Wax Off. If we're speaking competitively, the card is a little bit hard to run because it's kind of like an all-or-nothing card. If everything procs perfectly and it's in the right meta where you're playing a lot of 0-cost, like low-to-the-ground attacks or against a lot of decks that run that style stuff, it could be really, really good. If you're not in that type of meta or you don't get the effects, then it is like really below rate, right? The fact that Wax On at red is only a 3-block, you can kind of get away with that in a deck because it's still a 3-block. But Wax On only being a 2-block at yellow and a 1-block at blue, if you don't proc their abilities, they're extremely below rate defense reactions. The good thing about Wax Off is it doesn't have to have a turned on Wax On ability. Like Wax On doesn't have to have had its effect procced. You can, block a Leg Tap, for example, a 1-cost Leg Tap with a Wax On for 3, and then block it with, do another defense reaction with Wax Off for 2, blocking a total of 5, and create that Zen State token, right? It doesn't have to be against a 0-cost attack. So that is an added benefit, and I do think it's runnable if you're trying to run a Turtle Katsu list. However, it's got to be, this is a super meta dependent card. If we ever get into a meta that has a lot of aggro, a lot of 0-cost, low-to-the-ground attacks, or just a lot of like low power attacks in general, I could see this being a lot better, right? In a meta where Fi and Katsu are like the best, right? Which could be here soon, right? If Lexi goes out of the format and Icelander eventually leaves close behind, and we have a format with Dromai and with Ninjas, and maybe even with Mechanologists, you might see a lot of 0-cost attacks in the field, and Turtle Katsu might kind of make a comeback on that. The last thing I'll say on it that's a little bit weird, though, is even if it does work out right, like at red and then the blue, you're blocking 7 with 2 cards, which is basically on rate. And then at Yellow, you're blocking for 6 because the yellow wax on with its proc ability will be 4, and then wax off will be 2. So you're still not blocking super efficiently, but you are creating that Zen State token, which will come into effect like right then and there, right? So that is really nice. Another thing that's really cool is it technically will last for like 2 turns, which is really, really nice. It all depends on what you're trying to do. I still think the card's a little bit below rate. The one thing, if I had to be super, critical about it, is I wish they would have made wax off a 3 block, because in order to run this in a deck, I not only have to run 6 to 9 defense reactions in my deck with wax on that are below rate on face, but I also have to run a 2-block blue, which is already below rate in a Ninja Turtle style Katsu list. Because with most Ninja cards, you'll notice that blue, a lot of the aggro base, or even not just blue, but just in general, a lot of the aggro base cards are 2-block. So like Head Jab, 100 Winds, Descendant Gust Wave, anything that's a starter with Go Again, basically. And then the 3 blocks are your combo cards and your more defensive mid-range pieces. So I wish they would have made wax off a 3 block. I think if they would have done that, it actually would have been a lot better, because then you could say, look, if I can't pair it with a wax on, at least it's a 3-block blue, which isn't bad. But because it's a 2-block blue, to me, it just creates a little bit too much of below rate level cards, and it's only going to be really good against decks that have extreme, like, 0-cost attacks. However, with that being said, I wanted to bring up a short list that I made up. This is with no testing. This is just kind of like giving my thoughts on what it would look like. Basically similar to the Turtle Katsu list I showed on the channel a week ago. Definitely go check that out. But it's basically utilizing 1-for-5 attacks where you're doing Kadachi 1-for-5, like Censor, Mauling Key, which is coming out soon as well because it partners with Flick Flack, Pounding Gale, Torrent of Tempo, and then using good 0-for-4s like Soul Bead Strike and Fluster Fist. I went ahead and added the Crane Dance at red and blue, because if we're trying to make Zensei tokens, we might as well try to do it consistently, as well as Find Center. And then for defense reactions, I have Sync in here, and then I have 6 Wax Ons. I don't think running the blue Wax On is going to be worth it, even if the ability procs, because blue Wax On basically means at best you're getting a 3-block blue, but you potentially could be blocking for 1, and blocking with a 1 power but wax on into a 2 power wax off for 3. Yes, you create a Zen State token, but you just blocked for 3 with 2 cards. That feels really bad. So I'd probably only run the yellows and the reds, if not just the reds, but in order to make this as consistent as possible, you probably want to run 6. So run the yellows and the reds. Then we're running Flick Flack, 6 Flick Flacks, as well as 3 Sync Belows. Sideboard's not as really relevant. I just kind of made it based off what the current meta is. So in the future, in a meta maybe where there's a lot of lower power aggro decks, this could be really useful. In the current meta, it's not really going to be as applicable, right? It's only going to be good against maybe Katsu and Fi, a little bit of Lexi with like Bolton shots and Searing shots, but that's about it. A lot of her like good arrows are 1 cost. It's okay against maybe Dromai has some 0-cost stuff, but overall, the card I think just needs a little bit more support to be more consistent. But it's gonna be really interesting to see what it is. I'm still gonna mess with it, still gonna have fun with it and play it. I'll put the link to the list down below. Kind of get your thoughts on it. Maybe test it out yourself once it's implemented in the Talishar. Give me your thoughts. But it's exciting to see a more defensive Katsu, and also exciting to see like where they take this. Maybe thematically, if we're gonna go to like a really defensive Ninja Mysteria, that'd be kind of cool, right? Like someone who's like, really good at dodging attacks and stuff like that. Make it more thematic to the Ninja archetype. So really excited to see that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the community. Overall, definitely satisfied with it. The card's fine. It's just going to be interesting to see where they take it from now on in future sets. But yeah, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are about the card down below in the comments. If not me, it's totally fine. Go to our Flesherbug creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. Let me know what you would like to see for Ninja. I'm going to make a video on things I'd like to see in the Ninja class here this week. So it'd be cool to get your thoughts on that video as well. So be on the lookout for that. But just from talents to cards to like archetypes, I'm going to kind of give my thoughts. Hopefully the Tolarian Community College kit also gives us a couple cool tools like Mauling Key is for Katsu specifically, and even the defensive Katsu. And, just kind of develop the class from there. But yeah, hope you all have a good night. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.